Welcome back to art class. Today we are going to continue our printing art project. So before we get started, you will be getting back your artwork and making sure you press on top of those pencil lines to get it on your styrofoam printing plate. Once you're done with that, then you're going to take off your drawing and you're going to start using these oil pastels. These oil pastels are different than the oil pastels we've worked with before in the past. These are water soluble oil pastels. That means that when they get wet, they will dissolve. You can even blend them just like we would normal oil pastels blending, which means that you can go over them with different colors and blend those two colors together to make a different color. You can even go on top of them with some white. Make sure to not press too hard because you actually want the indented areas to stay that like clear-ish color. And then also we're going to be coloring in the background. So I would probably recommend coloring in your background an opposite or contrasting color than your fish. So if you're doing like a warm color fish, then your background would be like a cool color, just so it will stick out and be different than your fish. So once you have everything colored in with your oil pastels, we're going to be printing these. So to get started printing, you'll get these cut pieces of paper, and each print you need to make sure your name is on the back and your class code. So if you do more than one today, just make sure you're writing your name on the back. We do need to get this paper a little bit wet, so I will have water cups and sponges on the table. And you're going to carefully just rub the sponge onto the paper. You don't want it to be too wet, so it's not dripping wet, but it should have like a little sheen to it, a little shine to it. And that lets you know it's ready. Now, to do this print, you're going to keep your printing plate on your mat or on your desk. You're going to press your paper on and give it a massage. It is very important that your paper does not shift. So one hand should be holding it in place as the other hand is rubbing. If your paper does shift, it will also shift your print. So you have to be very careful. You can always hold your paper down and give it a little peek and see if you're getting the printed image over. Now remember, it will print in reverse, so everything you did will look a little bit backwards. You can also do something called a ghost print. So if you still have a lot of color on your printing plate, you can actually make another print. It will be a little bit lighter in color though. So adding water to my paper, and this is what will look like if you do accidentally shift and not hold your paper down as you're rubbing. So as you can see here, I did make a mistake. I was not holding it down well enough, and it did shift my color. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. If you're not holding it while you're rubbing, it will also create a shift in your print as well. So you can see it didn't print clearly. And then when you're done printing, you can get a tissue paper, or you can use a wet paper towel or something, or tissue, and wipe your printing plate clean.